Today we have the most boring casting ever, but hey, most of you guys watch those guys pour metal into graphite coin molds off of eBay, so, well, at least this one I'll try to make a little more interesting. We have just nothing more than a solid tube here. I'm using the ceramic shell to cast me a chunk of bronze that's about 5 inches long and almost 2 inches wide, and that's it. So yeah, real simple casting, but trust me, it's going to get a lot better. So we're going to put it in the jewelry style kiln here, a little kiln on the desktop, get it run up to 1700 degrees, turn the volume to 11, and let it go. Let's see what to melt. You. Chunk. Don't worry, it's just a bunch of scrap. So some guys I know were recently talking about how they light furnaces. Lots of ways to do it. Oily rag, gas rag, newspaper, whatever you want. One of the advantages I have with this particular setup I'm using is my fan speed over here is basically one speed. It's actually three, low, medium, and high, but I only melt it high. So that takes a lot of the guesswork out of adjusting air-fuel mixture because the fan is running at max, and then all I have to worry about is adjusting the fuel. So I'm going to do a light from cold, burning just Jet A. I no longer have used motor oil on my setup. I just decided it really wasn't worth the mess and the heaviness and the keeping a 55-gallon barrel of oil. It's not necessary. Jet fuel, diesel, kerosene, it all gets plenty hot enough with a little quickie burner in order to take into melt bronze. So let's look at a light from ice cold and see how this is done. First thing we have is the air and then the fuel. And that's all it takes to get it lit. If you have to take and shut down quickly in an emergency, all you have to remember is just go for the gas. You go for the gas, get rid of the air from the compressor, and you can leave the fan on to blow out any fumes, and you won't blow yourself up this way. So just fuel off, Venturi off, and then let the fan run. Open up the furnace, and it's safe. Well, it's been about 20 minutes or so. This is going to be the easiest job I've ever done when it comes to removing ceramic shell. I think this is just one big lump of bronze. So let's see what we got. It's not like we're looking for any detail here. We just need it solid. And uh-oh. Oh, casting defect. Oh, wow. That's not good. I have no idea how that happened. That's unusual. Well, maybe, just maybe, we can still get a 1.5-inch ring out of this thing. That's really not good. Don't know what happened. What porosity? Porosity. Not a big deal. Alright. Let's see if I get an 1.5-inch cylinder out of this thing. And yeah, she's a little funky shaped. Somebody told me one time don't use carbide for interrupted cuts, and I was gonna say that this is about as interrupted as you can get. So let's start off slow and see if she'll hang on for the ride. Wow, that is a lot of off bouncing around there. Holy Moses. Can you do that? Shoot, I don't even know. Wow. Does this just mean I'm going to be here for about 3 years? Tune in tomorrow. Jason's still turning on a piece of bronze. Bounce, bounce, a bounce, a bounce, a bounce, 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 bounce. Maybe I should have done a better job taking and making this thing straight. Whoop. Please don't fall out. Go back this away. It went that away. What time is it? 11:45? So what is this for, you ask? I am building a sink. And a guy that works bronze, what other material could he possibly use to build his sink? Bronze. Not too sure she hasn't moved in the chuck. Let's make sure. This was pretty hot. And, oh, they're still tight. Yeah, they're all... Yeah, nobody's got any issue there. Alright. Fire in a hole. How's the view from up on top? I guess it could be better. Need a better way to hold a camera if I'm going to film any of this machining stuff. Like I said, I am not a machinist. I only play one on YouTube. But the real story behind this silly thing is actually this is going to be a tailpiece. You look under any sink and you'll see, you're going to have to put a 4-inch long, 3 or 4 inch long tailpiece. It's going to go down into your P-trap or whatnot. Most are either 1.25 inches, or in this case, this one's going to be 1.5 inches in diameter. And I'm building a very unusual sink. It's called a trough sink, and you can buy one of these trough sinks, but companies, they want a few grand for it. But honestly, I've never seen one in bronze. So the only thing I ever saw was in copper, and I didn't really care for the copper ones. and they're all imports anyways. So I said, you know what, we're gonna go my own way, and so I went ahead and got a whole bunch of material, and then took and drew it out, and started setting it up. So of course that's what I'm welding on, and this right here is going to be the collector at the very bottom. Actually, there's a long. The sink is almost 3 feet long, to give you an idea, and there's a collector on the very bottom of the thing, and that is going to collect the water as it runs through this little slot and down into the collector. And then of course this thing is going to collect the water out of the collector and get it down into the pipes. And no, you can't buy one of these. Not one made out of bronze. Chicken dinner. Not too bad for some old scrap airplanes and a mold that didn't work for pressing glass. Give it a little bit of cleanup on the back here, and call that one a win. You can buy this stuff from McMaster Car if you want, and I forget what they get a foot for it. It's about $100 a foot, and I think that's the minimum you could get. And I looked a couple other places, and I said, you know what? I've got the material. Just cast it up, take and turn it. I know she was a little ugly at first, but did a bunch of welding on it, and there we go. So yeah, not too bad. Yeah, not too shabby at all. That's actually what's going to be on the bottom of a sink, and then the P-trap part will just slide right over this. This is standard 1.5 inches, some are 1.25 inches. I opted for just a little larger just because this particular sink serves 2 faucets, so I'll have a little bigger opening, and this way my wife and I can both brush our teeth at the same time. So there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again soon. Take it easy. That's bad. Oh, shit. Oh, don't go to work. Damn it. Ah! Cut.